We have scheduled kuch bhi ho. We have been joined by Subhash ji from Faridabad Management Association. We have been joined by Lieutenant Pishwa Sethi, Kohli Saab, our immediate past president Sandeep Gupta ji, R.K. Chilana ji. देखिए कितना इंटरेस्ट है. हमारे एक फ्रेंड है जी अनिल जैन जी. You can see he is sitting in the hospital and he was very keen to attend this summit today. Anil, thank you very much and I appreciate your spirit. अमित कोचर जी हैं जी लघु उद्योग भारती से, पीएस भाटिया जी हैं, कुलदीप बिष्ट जी हैं, रंजीत सिंह सानी जी हैं दिल्ली से, भूटानी साहब ने ज्वाइन किया है. ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द एसोसिएशन दत्त साहब हैं BYST से, मतलब नगेंद्र जी दिल्ली से ज्वाइन किए हैं सर. भाई साहब हमारे साथ हैं, मिडटाउन, DLF, FIA, क्या क्या नाम बताऊं उनके में. सर वेलकम सर एवरीबॉडी. Brief video before we start the formal. We'll have a brief video presentation which will give you the photographic activities, a list of activities and praise you of the activities of the DLF Industries Association. Just enjoy please.
यह बड़ी भारी समस्या है भाई. एबीसीडी भी को नहीं बता के करा श्री राम जी.
पड़ेगी
वीडियो.
मैं यही सोच रही थी गुरुवार में मेरा प्लेग्राउंड को बहुत बड़ा रैपिड रिलीज के साथ काम करें
तो जरा
आवाज नहीं आ रही
आए क्या श्री राम जी. ठीक है
तो दिखा दीजिए, फोटो दिखा दीजिए. This was the motivational session done by Vijay Batra. We had a free health checkup camp, first time social activities with the help of CMO, a training on fire in industry attended by 42 people. We had the tree plantation. Raghavan ji सामने खड़े हैं, गुसाई साहब खड़े हैं. मानव students visited DLF to know the industry academia.
Webinar.
Acharya, GM Siddi, he visited our office to equip himself. We had a session on Jeevan Anand, a motivation session. We have a sensitization workshop on GST and corporate laws. We had a sensitization workshop on industrial safety and health. Street lights के ऊपर देवेंद्र चौधरी जी ने लाइटें लगवाई हमारे यहाँ पे.
कोई मीटिंग चल रही है,
हमने PNG इनॉग्रेशन किया. GBM में फैसला हुआ कि हमने जेनसेट्स का बैन जो है एलोकेट करना है. 8th DLF बिजनेस समिट जो 1 साल पहले आज से हुई थी, कुछ उसी पिक्चर्स हैं. नहीं आ रहा बेटा. AGM लास्ट ईयर की धवन साहब दिख रहे हैं पिक्चर में, बत्रा जी दिख रहे हैं. हमने GST के लॉकअप में जो फंड्स हैं उसके बारे में प्रेजेंटेशन दी. I had the privilege of getting honored by my engineering college on completing of 50 years. The last function we had was National Safety Week, where DC Faridabad Shri Yashpal ji was the chief guest and he released set of posters. और उन्होंने कई organizations को encourage किया. The paper was presentation by सुभाष जी. हमने फ्री मास्क डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया और सेफ्टी पोस्टर जो हैं कोविड के हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए. Just to give you a brief idea of what the association has done in last year. Can we I'm joined by Dr. S.H. Acharya. I think थोड़ी सी एक रिक्वेस्ट है क्योंकि we are working for the first time on this Zoom platform. मेरी सबसे रिक्वेस्ट ये रहेगी कि अपने अपने ऑडियो जो हैं वो ऑफ कर देंगे और जो स्पीकर्स हैं जिनको कहा जाएगा वो अपना ऑडियो ऑन कर लेंगे और अपनी बात कहेंगे. और उसके बाद जो है when we have the question answer session तो फिर one by one as the time permits, we can unmute ourselves and ask the question from the different authorities. Is that right? तो उसमें क्या होगा कि हम एक दूसरे को सुन सकेंगे और प्रेजेंटेशन में डिस्टर्बेंसेस नहीं होंगी. तो I require and request your participation plus cooperation in this hour. Friends, now we have been joined by Dr. S.S. Acharya, General Sidbi, who is our chief guest for today evening. Rumta ji, can you start the summit? Rumta ji, आप अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को. I will request Shri MP Rumta ji, our advisor to DLF Industrialization, to present his opening remarks. Shri MP Rumta ji. सर अनम्यूट कीजिए सर अपने आप को सर. रुमटा जी अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को.
दिन में गर्म पानी नहीं आता होगा, नहीं आता. 10 मिनट.
एक मिनट सर, रुमटा जी अपने आप को अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को. रुमटा जी. पवन कोहली जी ज्वाइन किए हैं, भूपिंदर सिंह जी भी ज्वाइन कर लिए हैं. रुमटा जी अनम्यूट कीजिए ना अपने आप को.
थोड़ी
हाँ अब ठीक है जी.
आ गई आवाज.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. I will
वीडियो
request Rumta ji
जी
to present the opening remarks.
ठीक है सर. Thank you to all of you, honorable chief guest, keynote speaker Acharya ji, Dr. Bakshi, chief guest Acharya ji, guests and members of DLF. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to all of you to the 9th DLF Business Summit 2020 being organized by Team DLF on Zoom platform. This is our annual event organized in conjunction with annual general meeting. DLF Industries Association is a progress and active association of MSMEs and is always in forefront in organizing seminars and workshops for all levels of entrepreneurs and workforce last year. We organized a free health checkup with the support of Apollo and Rotary. COVID-19 is a challenge, and our President Sri J.P. Malhotra ji has chosen a very appropriate theme so that our learned guest speaker can share their wisdom and throw light of how we should take care of COVID and live with it. I am sure deliberations of the Business Summit 2020 will act as a guide for all of us to move forward positively. On my personal behalf and on behalf of President and governing body members, I once again welcome you all to the Business Summit and thank you for sparing your time to attend and make 9th DLF Business Summit a grand success. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Friends, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. S.S. Acharya, General Manager and Head, New Delhi Region, SIDBI. Our dear friend, D.K. Bakshi, coach and CEO, a mentor who will be joining us from Bangkok Global Talent Company. My senior friend, Ravindra, he is coming to our meeting and summit in his new role as Chairman MSME International Chamber of Service Industry. It's an international body which is looking after MSMEs, and Shri Ravindra ji is the Chairman MSME over there. We will also be joined shortly by Dr. Savita Verma, who is the Principal Investigator COVID-19 vaccine trials, Government of Haryana, जो ट्रायल्स हमारी PGI MS रोहतक में चल रही हैं. Dear members, honored guests from industry, other industry associations, Bharatiya Yuva Shakti Trust, Institute of Engineers, All India Management Association, on behalf of DLF Industry Association, it's our pride and pleasure to welcome all our guests and members on the occasion of 9th DLF Business Summit 2020 with the theme MSMEs and COVIDability, living with COVID. Emboldened by the success of the earlier summits, 9th is being organized on Zoom platform in deference to SOPs and guidelines of MHA, district administration, under the advice and guidance of our governing body. Friends, organizing DLF Business Summit gives your president and governing body an opportunity to propagate and percolate the message of industrial policy at national and state level, update the fraternity of the area with latest schemes of SIDBI, NSIC, PSU banks, especially tailored and focused to suit MSMEs. The summit brings MSMEs and service providers at a common platform for networking and appreciating mutual concerns and considerations. Friends, I believe that strength of the association lies in presence and participation of its members. The success of the association lies in multifarious activities, seminars, and policy advocacy. Sustainability, the third S of the association, is there if both the above parameters move upward and rise. We at DLF are privileged to have all the above, and I am personally grateful to all my seniors, my advisors, MP Rungta ji, Navdeep Chawla ji, Ravi Jindal ji, Sandeep Gupta ji, our immediate past president, to guiding the affairs of the association so that we are as active as any other association and keep on moving forward. Friends, we seek your support as always, and we hope, जैसा कि रुंगटा जी ने कहा, कि जो आज की जो deliberations हैं will be of high order and useful to our delegates. We are also grateful to the galaxy of well-known reputed speakers who have accepted our requests to enrich and enlighten us all. At this point of time, I welcome D.K. Bakshi, our keynote speaker for today. He's joined us. Dr. S.S. Acharya is already with us. Sri Ravindra ji is already with us. So I think we will not be losing any time because time is a constraint, and I will appreciate that your time, valued time, is taken care of. Friends, I'm happy to admit that we have taken the keyword covidability of today's theme from one of the presentations of my friend D.K. Bakshi. Sir, I had attended his program and I've taken the word from that place. And that inspired me to take this as a theme of today's DL Summit. Thank you, D.K. Saab, for giving me that word. Rousing response by our members is always a source of inspiration for all of us. We assure you of some focus programs in the ensuing year also. COVID-19 has sent the entire world into a coma. We are satisfied that our members are very cautiously observing safety protocols, meeting the guidelines and instructions of MHA, state and district administration as circulated by us time and again. And they are trying to come out of the financial crisis, labor issues, health and well-being to the best of their capabilities. Government of Haryana is responsive to the needs of industries, and I'm sure will frame and focus on industry-friendly policies and procedures, devoid of any pressure. All of us should act as partners in progress with the appreciation of interests of industry as a prime focus. All of us associates and members are requested and advised to be careful and cautious, not to take chances, and find out ways and means to improve their covidability and live with COVID and combat COVID fatigue. Once again, on my personal behalf and on behalf of DLF Industries Association, I am happy to extend warm welcome and gratitude for your presence at this annual prestigious event. Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Friends, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, we have been joined by our chief guest, Dr. S.S. Acharya, and I'll give you a brief introduction of Dr. S.S. Acharya. Dr. Acharya, General Manager SIDBI, is currently working as Regional Head of SIDBI NCR Delhi region. PhD in Management, Postgraduate in Science, Postgraduate in Business Administration, that is MBA, Certified Association of Indian Banking and Finance. He has an experience of 28 years. Wide credit rating है, MSME rating है, risk management है, bill financing है, entrepreneurship है, microfinance है, and the list goes on. You will be pleased to know that he was member of the founding team of the Specialized Industry Rating Scheme, SMERA, for MSMEs. He has been the CEO of India SME Technology, that is ISTSL, a public sector company promoted by SIDBI for technology services to Indian MSMEs. Dr. Acharya was a recipient of prestigious British Chevening Fellowship, where he underwent a course in environment management and sustainable development in University of Bradford and Manchester, UK. He had the privilege of working with MSMEs of UK, where he worked on establishing commercial benefits for adopting environment-friendly technology by comparing the same from MSMEs in India and UK. I am pleased to tell you that Dr. Acharya was invited to World Bank to discuss the MSME development financing story at Harare, Zimbabwe. Friends, he has trained more than 5,000 senior managers in the finance sector so that they can serve the industry. मैं और पढ़ूंगा तो time I'll be encroaching upon this time. At this point of time, I request all of you to please welcome Dr. S.S. Acharya, and I will request him to make his presentation. Over to you, Dr. S.S. Acharya. आप म्यूट कर लीजिए सर बाकी लोग अपना वीडियो ऑन कर दें सर सॉरी ऑडियो ऑन ऑफ कर देंगे Dr. S.S. Acharya, please.
Yeah, thank you, Malhotra sir. A very good afternoon to each one of you. Sri Malhotra, President, DLF Industry Association. Sri Vijay Raghavanji, General Secretary, DLF Industry Association, Nangia ji, Rungta Saab, and I understand our honorable speakers also have joined, Sri DK Bakshi ji, and our respected Ravindranath ji, and Dr. Savita Verma ji, and all esteemed members of DLF Industry Association and other entrepreneurs present here, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to interact with you. And last year during this time, if I remember correctly, I think it was 29th or so.
Oh, 27th it is, sir. On
27th
only.
27th only. So exactly a year back, we had met at Faridabad. Physically, we had met. But this year, the situation has forced us to meet virtually. And, life teaches us many lessons. And possibly this is something this has come to teach us many things. To teach us many things, of course, the cost of teaching is proving to be really, really worrisome. But at the same time, definitely there are many positive things that this particular pandemic is, imparting in each one of us. First of all, I'll like to congratulate the association and its members on this 9th Business Summit and your annual general meeting. I understand the annual general meeting has preceded this
Yes,
Business Summit.
Yes,
So congratulations for another successful year. And I think each one of you is contributing to the nation building in your own unique way. I think every one of you who is sitting here has much more contribution than any one of us on this side of the table. And definitely you deserve our commendation and respect, because you generate jobs, you contribute directly to the country's growth and all. Having said that, I will again congratulate the organizers for this very unique word, that COVIDability. This is something very unique, and I understand that from your initial discussions, Malhotra Saab, that our Bakshi ji, I think, has coined this term, COVIDability. I can only say that this possibly living with COVID and our ability to fight this menace is possibly what is meant by COVIDability. So when you talk about MSMEs and COVIDability, it encompasses our collective, resolve that how we can actually overcome this menace. Then, when we actually look back to what we have gained so far, I will come to the financing part at a later time. But definitely, the biggest thing that possibly this pandemic has taught us is about the temporary and transient nature of our lives. What we see today is everything is transient, and possibly tomorrow whatever we are witnessing today might not be ours, might be owned up by somebody else, is something that possibly is a hard lesson that this pandemic is teaching us. That means we all if I can remember the verses of Gita, like the drops of water on lotus flower, lotus leaves. Like we are there, but at the same time we are not there. So when this is the very, very important lesson, the transient nature of our lives, and what exactly it means in terms of business. When we see that everything is temporary and it is transient and is destined to pass by, it is either we live together or we are not there. When we say we live together in these difficult times, if we are there for each other, then collectively only we can fight it. So if you see that this the important lesson from this pandemic, I can see that this competition has been replaced by cooperation amongst our business community. People are helping each other. They understand each other. They appreciate each other, because this pandemic has not left anyone untouched. When everyone is equally affected, then actually they understand that what is the difficulty that is being faced by his counterpart. So this is something that this competition has given rise to cooperation amongst us. Then possibly there are many developments that is happening in our neighborhood, in our society, in our state, or in our city. And many a times we are apathetic towards it. We did not really care for what is happening in our surroundings. But this apathy has given place to empathy. Today we feel for each other. Today we are empathetic to the needs and the circumstances being faced by our friends, our people in the society at large. So this the biggest teaching that this pandemic has left or is imparting to us is this the spirit of cooperation that has actually come in place of competition, and the feeling of empathy that has replaced our earlier somewhat apathetic attitude towards our surroundings, our society. So towards this end, I am really, when I get certain messages, I see some paper cuttings that, DLF Industry Association in this difficult time also has taken up activities for the society, for the people at large, various social activities, whether it is blood donation camps, it is, the plantation camps, etc. So it really gives a feeling that the association is rising to the occasion, and during this pandemic also it has not forgotten its social responsibilities. That is something that is commendable. We'll come to this this part of the another lesson that this pandemic is teaching us. That ultimately we are products of nature, and we are harnessing the nature beyond the tolerable limits of the nature, and hence the issue of sustainability is very, very important. So as a business community, we have to see that we are, because we are trustees only. We do not own up this earth. It belonged to somebody else before us, and it will belong to somebody else, somebody after us. We are not here for perpetuity. We are trustees. So if that feeling comes to us that we are trustees, then I am sure the business community will definitely rise up, and all of us will rise up to the importance of sustainability. And when you talk of sustainability, I am sure all of you are aware about the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals that the United Nations has adopted. And definitely as a business community of MSMEs, we have a very, very big role to play as far as the sustainability is concerned. And let me tell you, sustainability is something, it is not only earlier people were thinking that it is something that is perhaps to show off to others. It is not for me, it is for others. But sustainability also makes business sense. In fact, many of you are now much more aware of the cost of resources that actually goes into produce your output, whether it is the cost of the raw materials, or it is the cost of energy, everything. So the optimization of resources is something, if we can ensure, that will contribute to sustainability. If we are in a position to save energy, if we are in a position to cut down our input costs, by whether it is the cost of raw materials, or whether it is the cost of energy, or whether it is the cost of CNG, that if some of us are using it, then it contributes not only to the environment, it contributes not only to our efforts towards sustainability, it also contributes to our bottom line. So sustainability makes business sense. The earlier we understand this, we can be competitive. And today, industries which are sustaining, industries which will actually, live long term are the industries. When I say industries, it is MSMEs. The MSMEs which are part of a value chain. If we are not part of a value chain, then our own sustenance will be in question. So we have to try, and because we are not somebody to stand on our own unless we are a very, very large enterprise to establish our own brand, even if we are MSME, or maybe if we are producing some very some handicraft kind of an item. But in our kind of MSMEs, we have to necessarily be part of a value chain. And if we are going to be part of a value chain, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I was discussing with the sustainability team of Mahindra and Mahindra. The team leader in their sustainability team was telling me that they are very aggressively pursuing green supply chain. I think many of the the people you are supplying to, I understand most of you must be catering to the auto industries, and the Mahindra and Mahindra yesterday in a discussion in a similar forum, they were saying that they are very, very aggressively pursuing green supply chain. What does it mean? In fact, it means that if we are not green, then we are out. If we are out of their supply chain, then possibly if it is Mahindra. In fact, many of the progressive companies are today focusing on a green supply chain. So if we are not green, then we are out, and if you are out, then we are dead. So in order to be competitive, whether in terms of cost or in terms of quality, we have to ensure that we adopt sustainable business practices. And by adopting sustainable business practices, what we do exactly, we adopt a new technology, we adopt a modern technology, we adopt less energy guzzling technology, and at the same time we maintain quality. So not only that, sustainability gives us quality competitiveness, it also gives us cost competitiveness. And when we are competitive, we are very much we continue to be the suppliers to this kind of industries, our parent patron companies, and we sustain our business for a longer term. So sustainability is something that we all must ensure, and as a community we have to be a sustainable business community. So this is something, it is in our interest, it is in the interest of our children, our progeny, and the world that will leave after us. Actually, what is the parameter of success? I think the parameter of success to me is that whatever I inherit, whether it is the company or whether it is the place or whether it is the office, whatever we inherit, if we leave it in a better shape, then that actually defines our success. If we have inherited this world from our forefathers, then if we are living it at a better shape, then we have succeeded. If you are a second generation entrepreneur, your father had started it, if you are taking it to a newer height, then you have succeeded. If I am inheriting an office from my earlier predecessor, and I am leaving an office which is much more joyful to work, much more business friendly, and is doing reasonably better, then I have succeeded. So our what we leave actually defines our success, not what we take. So, this is something that is very, very dear to me. And I always espouse this, that it is not what we take, but it is what we leave is what defines our success. So I will urge that, this is something that COVID has possibly reinforced this idea of, leaving is better than taking. So, I think this is the when we talk about MSMEs and living with COVID or COVIDability, I think if we can imbibe this kind of values within ourselves, it is already with us. We are in some form or other are exhibiting. But if we actually do business in a more empathetic way, if we do business in a spirit of cooperation rather than competition, I think the purpose of COVID would have been served. These are my thoughts on COVIDability. But being from the institution which is for MSMEs, I'll also just touch upon some of the things that has happened post this COVID period from March onwards. SIDBI, as you know, SIDBI is not a bank; it is a development finance institution for the MSMEs. So whenever anything for MSME sector is thought about, anything that the government thinks that some intervention is to be made for MSMEs in the country, it is SIDBI through which this initiative is driven. So whether it was the Prime Minister's announcement of 2% subvention, or whether it is the PSB loans online, or whatever new initiatives that have been taken or are being taken are being operationalized through SIDBI. So but you must have seen that in the initial period of COVID, the Reserve Bank of India had sanctioned a special refinance facility of 15,000 crore to SIDBI, and that is being channelized through the microfinance institutions and NBFCs, etc., so that they can make available funds to the MSMEs. But after that, this a period came when during the lockdown period, after the lockdown was slowly lifted, it was thought that it is a period when for the last 2-3 months industries are not functioning. In fact, before the emergency credit line was announced, SIDBI had come out with its own liquidity support scheme for its customers, for its direct finance customers, and after that, when Government of India announced this liquidity support program, then SIDBI became the vehicle through its credit guarantee mechanism. We have a National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company, NCGTC, through which we are giving guarantee to all banks who are lending this 20% additional liquidity support to the MSMEs. So it is through SIDBI, this 3 lakh crore package that is being implemented, and all the banks must have given you offer letters for 20% additional credit facility, and many of you have availed, and some of you possibly have not availed for whatever reasons. And this 20% additional liquidity support has actually come out very, very handy, because for it has a 1-year moratorium period, it has no prepayment charges, it has no additional collateral security requirements, and it has no margin money requirements. So in a way, it has actually given a real kickstart to the MSMEs, which were not in a position to operate for 2-3 months because of this pandemic related lockdowns and other such issues. And by and large, we saw that in the October there was the bumper GST collection, and subsequently in November also the index of industrial production, etc., are also showing reasonable growth over previous year, if not growth, at least at the same level as previous year. So it is these are the green shoots that possibly earlier people were saying that the economy will contract by about 24%, but now they have improved their projections that the economy will not contract so massively. It will contract maybe by about 9 to 10%. So this is something which keeping in view the nature of Indian economy, I think in the first 2 quarters of the next financial year, it will rebound to the positive growth trajectory. Absolutely, there is no doubt on that. So coming back to our discussion points, in fact, SIDBI in the initial period also, when the nation was had closed down everything excepting the units which are producing the essential goods and services, and in order to actually help such units which are helping the nation to fight COVID, which were producing things like, at that point of time, if you remember, in the month of March, we had a lot of short supply of PPE kits, we had a lot of short supply of even the hand sanitizers, this masks, then ventilators, everything. So at that point of time, SIDBI chipped in, and it came out with a scheme for the MSMEs which are producing this kind of services, and loans were dispensed at a rate of just 5%. Without any collateral security, and it was covered by CGTMSE cover, and that too, this CGTMSE guarantee also was absorbed by SIDBI because it was a national cause, and the MSMEs which were working in those difficult conditions needed to be supported and needed to actually augment their production capacities. So a special line of credit was given to them at a rate which is very, very comfortable. And also you will be happy to know that in 95% of the cases, our commitment that we will be sanctioning the loan in 48 hours was actually adhered to, because time was the essence. And when the nation was fighting, SIDBI also had joined hands with the warriors of the nation and the MSMEs which were producing this kind of things, and we supported them to the extent possible. So whenever there is any requirement, need, or the call of the MSMEs for some kind of an intervention, SIDBI and Government of India have extended it, and this time, a lot of things were actually expedited because of this COVID. Say, for example, we are talking about the positive things. If you think, since so many months or years, there was a demand that our definition of MSME should be revised upwards. But I think this COVID actually propelled the government to take a decision in a much faster manner. And had there been no COVID, possibly this decision would have come, but it would have come in due course. So there were many positive things that have happened, but at the same time, there is a tremendous cost that is associated with these kind of learnings. So these learnings are very, very costly learnings, but learnings nevertheless. So I will conclude by requesting all honorable members, please continue the good work that all of you are doing in terms of your social interventions, and please let us put our focus on sustainability aspects. So if we can leave a better world for our children, then actually we have succeeded. This is something, the spirit of trusteeship, that we are not the owner but trustee of this world, of this property, of this company. If this actually percolates within us, then we would have succeeded. Then possibly we will emerge victorious and a much more refined human being than we were in the pre-COVID times. Definitely, if we can achieve that, that will be the biggest lesson for all of us, and definitely as a stronger and much human business community, we shall emerge. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Let me thank Dr. S.S. Acharya and assure him that DLF will not lag behind in seeking and giving cooperation to SIDBI for MSMEs, whether they belong to DLF or any other efforts and support. Friends, we have been joined by D.K. Bakshi sir. He is our keynote speaker today, known as Mr. Motivator. I will speak for at least 2 minutes about him. DK is a psychologist with Masters in Human Resources, postgraduate diploma in Total TQM, and is trained by Certified Living Quality Group. He has been Vice President, Global Human Resources with Indorama at Bangkok, covering 3 continents, Asia, America, and Europe. An instrumental coach and CEO in building some of the great human resource models. He has got 3 decades of experience with Indian, Austrian, German, American companies. He has held so many titles: Vice President DMA, Vice President MAT, Chairman, Indian National Association Scheme, Chapter in Charge, Quality Circle, Forum of India, ED, Thai Chamber of Commerce, Secretary General India, Thai Business Association, Best Speaker Award at many Indian and international conferences, HR Excellence Award, at NIPM, PMA, Glory of India Award by Honorable Minister of Labour, Kingdom of Thailand, Best Speaker Award. Promoter of People Got Talent, D.K. Bakshi is a known person and personality for his unique style of delivery. He spreads his message of becoming global managers with passion, perseverance, and perseverance. And जैसे कि मैंने opening में कहा था, I have taken the word covidability from one of his presentations, which was attended by him. And it's last over 6 months that I am attending many of his programs. Thank you, Bakshi Saab, for having agreed to address our members. Over to you, sir. You have got 15 to 20 minutes to make your presentation, sir.
Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum, Sawadee Sawadee is the way we, salute each other in Thai language. Indeed,
Namaste.
Namaste. Indeed, pleasure to be here. And I must first give a lot of regard and respect to our chief guest, Dr. S.S. Acharya, the General Manager and Regional Head of SIDBI. S.S. Acharya Sahab, he talked about sustainability, success, and alignment. S.S. Acharya, success, sustainability, and alignment. And he said, we need to leave this world whether we can upgrade ourselves and leave behind for our future generations. There's a lot of learning from this great, words of wisdom from Dr. Acharya. Thank you very much for inaugurating such a wonderful summit. And I am thankful to Dr. Savita Verma, who is going to be here giving us what we need the most. And then we have Ravindranath Ji, Chairman of MSME International Chamber of Industry. The organizers, Vijay Raghavan Saab, Nangia Saab, Rungta Saab, and above all, Mr. J.P. Malhotra, who has really been attending my programs last 6 months. It's indeed pleasure. And I must congratulate Mr. J.P. Malhotra and the team for putting up this such a powerful 9th DLF Business Summit with an apt theme of MSME, motivating sustainability, measuring energies. I'm going to talk about this energy, why it's important, and covidability, living with COVID. I wish we could be together face to face and not through this digital space. However, it is good to be here at least in such a tough, difficult, unknown, unheard, unbelievable world of covidability. Who would have thought that world will go through this kind of a pandemic last 9 months? Somehow now I feel we need to go back to those lovely rooms in the hotels, in the corporate houses, where we can be in AC after COVID. The BC is a history before COVID, DC where we are now. So we moved from BC to DC and we are looking for AC.
Wonderful.
And I tell you, I am actually looking forward to our guest of honor, Savita Verma ji, who could give us some thoughts on how we will move to AC soon. Because why I am saying this, I keep on singing this song every day. Koi lota de mere beete hue, koi lota de mere beete hue din. Probably I may not be the same, but I have learned in this process of COVID-ability, and I would like to go to this word now. When I was doing programs around the world, we've done 200 programs, starting from Dr. Kiran Bedi, who has been my mentor, and the director of global talent. Padma Shri Dr. Pritam Singh, I am Lucknow, lost. He has been another mentor of mine. So we have gone through a lot of tough situation. And one day, this young bright girl from, lady from Noida, she said, "Sir, I want your session, but I want something very different." I said, "What do you want?" He said, "So something to do with COVID." I said, "Let's do COVID ability." She said, "My God, what is this?" We need COVID ability. And we are all gone through this COVID ability today. And this team, with this lady called, her name is Shefali Singhal, and I call her Tennis. She's really making a way, because I run a program called Women Power Global Movement in 20 countries, where Dr. Kiran Bedi is the first Women Power. She's part of that Women Power program also. So this subject is very close to my heart, because I have also been personally involved in a lot of MSME companies within the country and globe, where we have done a lot of work for the organizations, taking them out and putting them to the next level of excellence. And right now, when we are into a very tough situation, how will we get out of this? Well, I remember March 2020, and in April, Jack Ma gave a statement. He said, "Hey, business owners, in case you live your life in 2020 and you are alive, that is the biggest profitability you have." I mean, I did not like that statement at that point of time. But by the time we traveled to July, August, I said he was a visionary. He thought right about it. And why I'm talking here is because we are now right now with business owners of MSME who are here, and we are talking about COVID ability. We had a lot of pressures. How to make this year, which is giving us a lot of pain. But please remember, every pain is followed by gain. And I am very clear about it. I know that we will get into a gain soon, because I see a lot of people who lost jobs, who had a lot of issues in terms of health. We lost some of the great people in our lives who we cannot get back. But then how will we move forward? How will we realize the vision of this COVID ability? And I have been specifically talked about to give the skill set required in MSME during this COVID days. First of all, I must respect all the business owners who, irrespective of all the difficult tasks, could fight it out with a lot of compassion. When everything was going against us in the world, when things were going wrong, lockdowns, there are some of the business owners whom I respect in MSME, and they came together with their people on Zooms and started talking, how do we come out of this? And I remember some of the names who actually got people together and said, "Hey, I have been motivating you for lifelong. Now you motivate me to remain in the business." This also happened. When COVID caught us, how to mitigate and manage the same was a big challenge. Having said that, other side, when we look at our own Prime Minister, PM Modi, whom I had an opportunity of meeting in Sawadhi Modi in Bangkok in November 2019, he came out and people may think today that lockdown was a disaster, but the way he saved the country from a disaster at that point of time. And then there were many things followed, and he became like a lion to face this kind of a situation in the country. So while saying that, we have had a major constraint of running the business. I remember seeing a lot of political leaders, a lot of business leaders. How did they respond? Very responsibility. And they said business first, people later, but the Prime Minister said people first, business later. So what I am trying to talk to you is, when you look at me as a small business owner, I am not a big business owner. What did I do? My last training program paid in LG India was in February 2020 and L&T Bangkok in March 2020. And till date, I have not made even 1 rupee, 1 baht, $1 on a training program. But I'm running everyday program free of cost to ensure the statement what is made by Dr. S.S. Acharya Sahab, that we leave this world for a better place tomorrow. Having said that, I did at that point of time, what is COVID for us? What is COVID for all of us as business owners? And at that point of time, I said, COVID is courageous survival. COVID is courageous survival. O is opportunities to excel, fight to win. Opportunities to excel, fight to win. And V is visualize future. And I is incredible communication. And D is daring and dynamic ability. I repeat, when I said C is courageous survival, that means we need to be surviving this pandemic, and we have done it with all our courage of conviction. And then we said, O is opportunities to excel, fight to win. Whatever is going wrong, ensure that we are safe, our families are safe, our employees are safe, and we are personally safe, but start fighting to win. And that is where the rebooting and re-establishing and re-enhancing our business was done. And the third one, which was visualize future. That means we need to think beyond COVID today itself. And a lot of companies' roadmaps got destroyed, and we started working on the future vision. And then incredible communication. Why I'm talking incredible communication? Because there was a need of communicating to your families, to your brothers, sisters, to your employees, to your customers, to your suppliers, to everybody in the world. And that was also done very well. And D is daring and dynamic ability. Now, what was an ability? That's where the COVID ability came. In January 2020, is not in November or December 2020. And it's not going to be in April 2021. The capability, the competency has already changed and will be changed more in the next 5 to 6 months. That is where this COVID ability came. Now, when this word COVID is so important, business owners have to understand what Dr. Acharya said. What are we leaving behind? This is completely temporary, my chair, whether I am a business owner or I am a professional, what I am leaving for the future. And that's where we said, let's look at skill sets for the corporate world. And I started working on this, and this is available on the social media, effective July, on Facebook, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. I said, we are into a very disastrous situation, but let's talk about agility, adaptability, accountability. That is the first skill set. While we need to be agile for the business, at the same time, we need to be adapting to the changes which we have done. But as professionals, as business owners, as leaders, we need to take accountability of what we are doing. The skill set, agility, adaptability, accountability. And since we are in a bad shape, so we have scars, we are sick, I said, let's turn the scars into stars. I believe. Since we are in mess, we are having scars, we are in such a pandemic. With this agility, adaptability, and accountability, turn scars into stars. And how do you turn scars into stars? Here comes another skill set. Behavior ability. Business ability. And brand ability. Why I am talking about behavior ability? Because during pandemic, when you are dealing with your customers, suppliers, employees, wives, brothers, sisters, mother-in-laws, parents, you need to have a best behavior. And COVID has a lot of behavior to people. That's behavior ability. And then at the same time, have business ability. While everything is going wrong, do we take control of our business? So business ability becomes stronger. And the third one, brand availability. While we are in disaster, our brand should not get destroyed. Brand means your own brand, your company's brand, your country's brand. India has a brand. So behavior ability, business ability, and brand availability. So that means we are turning from agility, adaptability, accountability, turning scars into stars with behavior ability, business ability, and brand ability. Then we said from this, what do we do? And here comes that word which I love of Prime Minister Modi. Speed, skill, and scale. Speed, skill, and scale. And here I say C is curious ability. That means you are curious to know what is going to be the next. Culture ability, and where? Code ability. So curiosity as a availability, that means we are curious about what is going on in the world, what is going on in my country, what is going on in UP, what is going on in Faridabad. So you have to be very curious. And what's going on in my business? Where is my supplier? Can he supply me? Where is my customer? Can I support him? Where is my employee? Where is my supervisor? Where is my workman? And culture ability. Because why I am talking about culture? We all know one country in the world which is not a right country today to talk about in terms of business. There are already a lot of companies who have approached India to have their base. I am right now dealing with 5 companies from the global world who are going to have a base in India. So how do we align the culture with those companies and have a culture ability? And then COVID ability. And then from there, I am moving to process, people, and implementation excellence. That is deep. deliverability, daring ability. That means I take a challenge in 2021 to produce, maybe I was producing 50 million tons and I will. But deliverability does not mean that I will just deliver a product without quality, without cost consciousness, and I will sustain my company. So deliverability, daring ability, taking a challenge. And of course, dependability, depending on my management, my staff, on my supervisors, on my workmen, which is associates, and align the management and align the technology finally to go back to agility. I will repeat this of ABC set. Agility, adaptability, accountability as business owners. And I'm not talking about only business owners. I'm talking even professional business leaders, employees, CEOs, managers. They also go through this process of agility, adaptability, and accountability. And turning scar into star, into behavior ability, business ability, and brand ability. And with the speed, skill, and scale, go to curiosity ability, culture ability, and COVID ability. That even if COVID is catching me, but I have the ability to come out of COVID. And with process and people and implementation excellence, go to deliverability, daring ability, and of course go to dependability with aligning with management, the leadership, and aligning with technology. Right now we are here with technology. That is going to be the skill set for the new world. But this power of now, power of this COVID ability, I give some powers into this. Power of crisis, that is what we got in pandemic. Leading to power of conviction and leading to power of courage and leading to power of change and leading to power of commitment and leading to power of care and leading to power of clout and leading to power of champion. I repeat, the power of crisis, the power of conviction, to the power of courage, the power of change, to the power of commitment, to the power of care of people, to the power of clout in the business, and to the power of champion. Who am I? I am a champion. Who am I? I am a champion. Who am I? I am a champion. This exercise needs to be done with all the leaders, all the associates, all the family members, that we can live much better in days to come. About this COVID ability as skill set, it is very important for us to understand that the skill set, in case we don't pick up today, we will be left behind in the world. I am asking again and again my business owners and leaders, whether they are the owners of business or whether professional leaders in the companies, why don't you join the strong hands of Prime Minister Modi with global talent, locally and locally, to make India very strong in the global world? And it's possible. I think we have now gone through pandemic. We are very close to our, moving out from DC to AC. Let's look at these skill sets. I will repeat the skill set before I close. Agility, adaptability, accountability, behavior ability, business ability, brand ability, curiosity ability, culture ability, and COVID ability. deliverability, daring ability, and dependability. Because when we are talking about, when Dr. Acharya was talking about Sustainable Development Goal of United Nations, the world needs successful and sustainable businesses. And we as MSME industry in the country have the responsibility to create. You have a 44% of GDP, which is from SMME in the country. So we have a responsibility to changing the status quo of country like India. And finally, I want to give you some edge. Hope, humility. The business owners and leaders have to be humility. Humanity, hard work, and happiness. Other day I was interviewing Dr. Asha Bhandarkar, and she said, hope, humility, humanity, and hard work. I said, I want to add happiness. Let's try to remain happy. Let's spread happiness. Let's spread power of positivity, because this power of positivity can lead to power of perseverance, power of persistence, power of performance, power of passion, and power of pride. As a global Indian, we should be proud of India as a country. We can lead the world with a different impact, with affordability as the key driver for in the world. Entire world is looking at us. Entire world is looking at India as the center of, rather the factory of entire products. India can be the factory. India can be the one place where everything can be produced, but we need to have quality, delivery, cost, and customer centricity, customer excellence. With that, I wish your association all the best, good luck, and keep on taking this association forward. And let's look at 10th DLF Business Summit, which you can make a big one. Do it in Thailand. In Thailand, all your members. I will help you to organize. I will help you to organize a very big summit in Bangkok.
Done, sir, done.
And I would say, Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara, hum bulbule hai uske, ye gulsita hamara. मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, हिंदी है हम वतन है हिंदुस्तान हमारा. भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, D.K. Bakshi sir. I think you have left the desired impact, and on behalf of all of those who are listening to you, I'm very sure that from today onwards, we'll be more positive, and I'll use the word agility, we'll be more aggressive in meeting the desired results. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and we are really obliged. Friends, at this point of time, it's my pleasure to welcome my younger sister, Dr. Savita Verma.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra, for having me here.
सविता जी को मैंने आज से 2 महीने पहले सुना था, and we were so impressed by her presentation and the factual statements that she made that on this spot, Ruta ji, we conferred honorary Paul Harris Fellowship on behalf of Rotary to her.
I'm really thankful for that.
थोड़ा सा इनके बारे में 2 लाइन जरूर बोलूंगा. I've been trying to get the profile, but she is so humble and a person. She is a professor in pharmacology in PGS IMS Rohtak. She is heading the ethics division of PGIMS. More than 16 years experience in research and teaching. She did her MBBS and Master in Pharmacology from PGIMS and has been actively involved in medical education, human ethics, and research. She is member secretary of the Ethics Committee of Hisar, Central University of Haryana, and of UHS Rohtak. She has done more than 7 vaccine trials, of which 2 are now present pandemic on corona. BCG trial for healthcare workers, and presently she is the principal investigator COVID-19 vaccine trials in Haryana. On behalf of DLF Industry Association, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Savita Verma, and she'll make her presentation for the next 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra, for having me over here. Good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity, and good evening. I'm sure you all must be waiting for your hot cup of tea, or some of you might already have had it. So I'll try to keep my talk brief, and I'm not sure whether I will be able to do a justice or not after having such a dynamic speaker as my predecessor. Thank you, sir, for motivating all of us. So, as you all know that at present we are dealing with a healthcare pandemic. But what we feel as a healthcare workers is that apart from the COVID pandemic, we are now also facing an economic pandemic. Because of the sudden lockdown which happened in the country, the industry was not at all prepared for this, and the sudden lockdown really had a bad impact on them. But what as a healthcare worker we feel is that we are really thankful to the industry for all the support which they have provided to the healthcare. The healthcare cannot survive without the industry. And during the lockdown period, though it was bad for the industry, it was really helpful for the healthcare workers, because as the frontline soldiers, we didn't have any equipment. Our hospitals were not prepared for the masks. We didn't have sanitizers. We didn't have ICU facilities which could take on this pandemic. And during this lockdown period, we had a lot of support from the industry people. There were a lot of donations from the industrial houses regarding ventilators, and we are still getting donations for masks and sanitizers. Now, ICU facilities have been developed and have been ramped up at almost all the government hospitals. Many industries are coming up with their own ICU facilities, and they are really providing people with they're really supporting the healthcare facilities. So I would really thank you all for supporting us during this time. And we'll try to support you as much as you can, because now as the norms of the lockdown are being eased, so obviously you people are opening up your industries, and both the small scale and large scale industries, certain guidelines have been laid by the governments, and everybody has to adhere to those guidelines. But initially everybody was a little skeptical that how can they, adhere to those guidelines. So I'll just try to simplify them for you as far as healthcare perspective is concerned, so that these are very simple steps which you can follow at your end. So we are really, as a healthcare providers, we are really thankful to the industry for supporting us. And secondly, now, because my topic is on vaccination and management, luckily in October, we had a dip in the cases of COVID. And but post Diwali, again, there is rise in the number of cases of COVID and deaths. And this was not the case earlier, but now all our ICU facilities and all our beds are full up to their capacity. And now the private hospitals have also come in, and most of the beds in the private hospitals are also filled up. So from your platform, what I can help is that, one, yes, you are trying to revive your economy and you're opening up your industries. So by first and foremost, what you can do to help yourself as well as your staff and workers is just to train and sensitize them into simple steps. And again, we want to say whatever the guidelines have given on paper, they look very difficult, but there are simple 5 or 6 steps which you can follow in training your staff. And the first and foremost is to regularly keep on washing your hands with soap and water. Even if you don't have sanitizers over there, there's no need. If your staff is trained just to clean their hands with soap and water, that is more than sufficient. And secondly, just to train them to follow good respiratory hygiene. it means that whenever they are sneezing or they have a cough, they just, you know, hold your hand on the elbow and sneeze in your elbow instead of sneezing it into the open, because the infection spreads through droplets. And thirdly, try to maintain social distancing. And because what is happening is once people return to work, even in our hospital, what we have seen is that the nursing staff and doctors, they are not getting infected with the COVID on duties, but when they are having a cup of tea together or they are sitting together and they are relaxing, at that time they are catching COVID from each other. They are not catching COVID in the ICU wards, they're not catching COVID from the COVID patients in the COVID wards, but during the socializing they are catching infection from each other. So if you can, you know, inculcate these good habits in your staff, ask them to wear masks. Simple surgical masks are also protective, and they're, because again winters are coming. In summertime, yes, it was difficult, but in winters it's easy to wear masks. So please ensure that your staff and your workers are wearing masks. And if any one of them, if have even mild symptoms of COVID or otherwise, because the winters are coming, so they might have symptoms of flu and other symptoms like fever or cough or, you know, running nose, just ask them to take leave. You say that you are supporting them, because if they come to work and they infect more number of people, it will be your loss. So it's better to give leave to one person than you know, asking them to come on. And if possible, you can have a doctor on panel, or you can ask them to take some medical advice, but don't force them, and please advise them to stay home and into self quarantine if they develop certain symptoms. So by following these simple steps, you know, you can save your workforce also. And if you have more working hands, obviously there will be again revival of the work and economy. And as far the good part is that now we are having a lot of cases are increasing, but luckily in India, because of immunization system or our immunity, the number of deaths are very less in India. And now we have certain good antivirals also available. Certain drugs are available there, that if somebody has even mild to moderate disease, then we have some medications available with us which can save our lives. And now and luckily now everybody is waiting for vaccines to arrive, and now 3 major vaccines are in phase 3. So we are hoping that by end of you know, January or by first week of February, these will be available for public. And thanks to our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji. Everybody was very, you know, skeptical at what cost we'll be getting these vaccines. So in India, as I feel that we have a very strong immunization system, and almost all the vaccines are available free of cost in the government hospitals. So the COVID vaccines will also be provided free of cost to all the people from the government hospitals. So what we are requesting you people is to please motivate your workers to get vaccinated, because there are a lot of controversies regarding the vaccines in the world going on, and many people now feel that they don't want to get vaccines. The vaccines are being rushed. It is not so, because I am doing 2 clinical trials, and at present my Covaxin is in phase 3. We have done its phase 1 as well as phase 2, and we started in July, but the work on it started from March itself. So now many people feel that generally it takes 5 to 6 years for a vaccine to come into market. So why this vaccine is coming so fast? Now the answer to that is that because the COVID virus or the SARS-CoV virus, which is responsible for COVID infection, its family came into being, or it was recognized in 2013 itself. And because of the advancements in the science now, thanks again to the industry, we already had the structure, and already the work was going on for other infections, for other respiratory infections for this virus. So when COVID came, I think when first case was reported in end of December, and by second week of January, we had the whole sequence of the virus available with us. And based on that, by in silico testing and on in vitro testing, we were able to manufacture vaccines very quickly. And you know, we are giving, almost all the vaccines are being given as 2 doses, and they have to be given 28 days apart. And after 42 days, we have a boost up in the immune system, and our immunity develops to it. So we cannot cut short these 42 days because this process is happening on the human beings. So what I want to just reassure you all that nowhere in the world the science and the scientific people are not cutting short on the medical part and safety part of the vaccine. What we are cutting short is on the regulatory approvals. I'm sure you all also take a lot of approvals and you know how long those approvals take. So what is happening in this COVID pandemic, we are getting those approvals overnight. The approvals which used to take one year, we are getting them within 24 hours. And we are cutting short on that period. We are not cutting short on the safety of the vaccines. So what I would like from your platform and from you people is that to please motivate your workers to get vaccinated as and when this vaccine comes, and to follow good respiratory practice and good hygiene practices. So that way you can save yourself. And since post Diwali we are having a lot of cases, so another thing which I would like to emphasize is that please educate your workers and staff not to sit in groups and have tea together. Even if they want to have tea together, they are not wearing masks during at that time. Please maintain some distance. So if we are maintaining this some distance, even that is saving. So I think because we are already getting late with the program, so I'd be happy to take questions at the end. So I hope I was able to keep the talk brief and I was able to make my point. But I would really like to thank the industry for supporting the healthcare. There's this. I hope this collaboration continues in future.
Thank you very much, Dr. Savita ji. You have given us you have reassured the industry that COVID, for our staff and workers, vaccination will be available free of cost as and when it comes. We are not in a great hurry, and we are sure that the health of our workforce and the industry is in safe hands of people like you who are dedicated. Roonghta ji, मैं क्या बताऊं आपको, मतलब she is working tirelessly, hours and hours, day in day out. You are involving health of people. You can't take chances. कोई shortcuts नहीं है. And as Dr. Savita explained, कि shortcuts जो है नहीं वो regulatory में है. हम तो जानते हैं इंडस्ट्री वाले रविंद्रनाथ जी कितना टाइम लगता है एक छोटा सा अप्रूवल लेने में. बैंक में जाओ, एक एंट्री पासबुक नहीं कंप्लीट होती है 6 दिन के अंदर. तो कहने का मतलब ये है, what she's clarified कि जो शॉर्टकट है आम जनता समझती है कि भाई ट्रायल में है, जल्दी कर रहे हैं, 6 दिन का कोर्स है तो 2 दिन में कर रहे हैं, वो नहीं है. Thank you very much, Dr. Savita. You have reassured the industry and we are there with you anytime, any help. Whatever is possible from DLF Association. All my senior members are there. FIMTI is there, Lagu Log Bharti is there, FIA is there, Textile Association is there, IMA is there, FMA, Thiagarajan I can see. We are there with you.
Okay, sir. So let's
thank you very much.
All take India to new heights.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, friends, the last part, kindly bear with me for next 10 minutes. We have a very eminent person, Shri Ravindranath ji. He's got vast experience and now he is speaking at international chamber. मतलब ये अपना experience जो है international community के साथ आजकल share कर रहे हैं and he is working wonders in the industrial chamber of service industry. I had the privilege of sharing one platform with him and we addressed together the industry all over the world for making of Atmanirbhar Bharat. तो मैंने सर से रिक्वेस्ट की कि भैया आपने इस सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर बोलना है. He is very kindly agreed to me. और आज जो है he has a family function waiting for his arrival at home. Ravindranath ji, I am personally obliged to you and request you to make your presentation in the next 10 minutes, sir. Please, over to Shri Ravindranath ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear Shri Malhotra ji, President of DLF Industries Association, Dr. S.S. Acharya, General Manager, Regional Head, SIDBI, Shri D.K. Bakshiji, CEO and Chief Mentor, Global Talent Company. Dr. Savita Verma, Principal Investigator, COVID-19 Vaccine Trials, Haryana. Shri M.P. Rangtaji, Advisor, DLF. Shri Vijay Raghavanji, General Secretary, DLF. All members of DLF Industries Association, Faridabad, and all other forums and organizations engaged in the promotion and development of MSMEs, all participants to the 9th DLF Business Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Congratulations to all members of DLF for having successfully held its 18th annual general meeting. It has been truly a very enriching experience for me while listening to the various speakers who spoke before me. I must mention our dear Bakshiji. He was truly overwhelming and mesmerizing, if I may use these words. And I must compliment Shri Malhotra ji and his team at DLF for choosing a very relevant theme for the 9th summit, that is MSMEs and COVIDability, living with COVID. While I was listening to Bakshiji, one of the things which really impressed me and made me think when he said BC would be before COVID, I was thinking what Christ would be thinking about it, that there is something which has come, which has really made people forget Christ, or maybe reach out to them, ki Bhagwan ab tu hi bacha le. So thank you very much, Bakshi Sahab. I'm sure it is going to be before Christ, before COVID, but as you said, the best is still to come. And I always believe, and as a die-hard optimist, I always look at the times in future which will be holding more gains than the pains which we are suffering now. So thank you very much for your enriching words. I'm sure each one of us would like to listen to them over and over again. But ladies and gentlemen, we would all agree that the world has been shaken by the unfolding COVID-19 pandemic. And I use the word unfolding intentionally because it continues to unfold. It was said that it is the first wave. Now they say it is the third wave. I hope God holds it at the third wave itself. No more waves to come in future. But as Madam Savita also said, this pandemic has evolved from a health disaster to an economic disaster. In India, the pandemic has significantly impacted various sectors. Our friends, our brothers, our fraternity in the MSME sector not being left out, probably suffering the most of it as they deal with this supply chain disruptions, lowering demand, limited labor, and changing consumer preferences, all being the impacts of this pandemic. And looking from the MSME's point of view, the implications of the nationwide lockdown. While some say the lockdown was essential for saving the vast numbers which our country carries, but the lockdown, when you look at from the MSME's perspective, it had vast implications. Closure of global borders doing substantial damage to the economy while disruptive supply chain and demand. We all saw how complete collapse of the global and domestic supply chains with no movement of raw material and finished goods due to abrupt closure of the national and state borders, it caused a crushing impact on both MSMEs and larger firms. However, the MSMEs had, since being more vulnerable, they had a greater impact on them. The disruption in supply chain, it cast the issue of supply shock that has induced a sharp decline in output and employment. It's really heartening when we hear that there is so much of unemployment getting added to the numbers of the youth, which is already facing the challenge of unemployment all over. And see the paradox. We have educated youth on one side, and on the other, the industry says we do not have trained manpower. See the agony of the country in which we are living with today. But we are not alone. The supply shock had immediate negative consequences on the incomes of workers and businesses, causing a significant contraction of aggregate demand in the economy. In the world, strongly connected economies, coronavirus profoundly impacted the global supply chain networks. For India, also, this supply chain disruption of intermediate goods, which majorly come from China, was most severe for Indian MSMEs, with no other alternatives, China being an important and sole supplier of certain essential industrial inputs and components. That is what hit the MSMEs the hardest, by the shortage of raw material and their soaring prices. They have found it harder to acquire imported necessary industrial inputs. Right from the pharma sector to the electronic sector to various other sectors, each one of them being severely impacted with China, the supply is not happening. But in addition to supply shocks, Indian MSMEs also tackled the labor shocks. The vast migration of the people causing a big loss of trained workers in the factories across the country. But we have all realized that the situation created by this pandemic has caused the biggest crisis facing economies in the weakening of demand. The decline in the global trade have negatively impacted the globally exposed Indian MSMEs. Exporting MSMEs are more impacted than non-exporting ones, since susceptible to both disruption in supply chain and loss of global markets. It's clear that coronavirus, through its triple crisis, demand, supply, and labor crisis, has exacerbated myriad of problems to the sensitive MSME sector. But needless to say, we Indians are resolute people. We have so far faced the COVID-19 situation with fortitude and a spirit of self-reliance. The pandemic has also apertured the opportunity for India to emerge as a global manufacturing hub. As Bakshiji was mentioning, I do agree with him. It has given an opportunity for India to come up as a global manufacturing hub while realizing its Make in India policy in true sense. In keeping with these opportunities in mind, the strengths of the MSME sector, that the government announced a special economic package to give a boost to the embattled economy that was brought to a screeching halt by this pandemic. These measures in the package, I would not like to touch upon them since they have already been mentioned by Dr. Acharya-ji, carried twin objectives, short-term and long-term, reviving different spheres of the economy in the short term and also insulating India from any future global economic downturn by making it robust in the long run. Both these are aimed to create new opportunities for growth in sectors like agriculture, micro, small and medium enterprises, power, coal, mining, defense and aviation. You look at any sector and you will find opportunities almost reaching across to people who are functioning over there. And that is what makes India all the more different, a place which is sought after. And it would be appreciated that never before has a call been given to turn India's quest for self-reliance into a national movement. Even the earlier Make in India drive and now the clarion call given by the Honorable PM for making India Atmanirbhar or self-reliant, both are critical steps forward in improving the manufacturing growth of India. And I'm sure the Honorable Prime Minister wants that at the end of the day, under the concept of Atmanirbhar, most of us would assess our own strengths, leveraging global strengths. How do we look at global markets? How does India stand as a player in the global market? Because India should strive to achieve self-sufficiency in production of inputs in the same fashion as India progressed to achieve self-sufficiency in food grain production during the initial 5-year plans. That is what is needed. But we would all agree that self-reliance is directly connected to quality. Again, a point which was emphasized by Bakshiji in his address. I fully agree with you, Bakshi Sahab, Without quality, we would not be anywhere. And it has been widely accepted that the developed nations are able to dominate the global markets because of their innovative product and also not compromising on its quality. That is what all developing nations, the biggest challenge India faces is improving its quality of its product to global standards. It's clear that the Honorable Prime Minister wants India to produce goods of quality that not only reduce our dependence on imported goods, but also makes them well sought after globally while placing India amongst the foremost exporters of the world. And let me admit, India may appear to be self-sufficient in automobile sector, but most of these companies are fundamentally foreign. Look at all these names, except for a few Indians, the Maruti and the Tatas, rest are all global companies. Similarly, big sectors like defense, communication, they still rely on imports. And it is these who are facing the challenge when the pandemic occurred, when the supply chains got disrupted from China. And all these are the sectors that need self-reliance the most. Thus, now when we look at the positive side of things, thus, India has tremendous opportunities to capitalize upon emerging out of the change in the global outlook of China's manufacturing sector following the outbreak of the coronavirus. Even before the outbreak of the COVID-19, let me share with you, the world was looking towards India, Indian MSMEs, and the desired collaborative moves with Indian MSMEs, and they sought the government support to assist them. My own experiences before I gave up my charge with NSIC as CMD NSIC, I had the chance to interact with various MSMEs in Russia, Malaysia, South Korea, and various countries in Africa. There was only one thing which connected all of us, and it was the Indian MSMEs. And another thing, whether it was the sectors as diverse as defense, automobile, textile, pharma, they all wanted collaborations with Indian MSMEs because they all knew that Indian MSMEs are there and they stand out from all others in the world. And now post-COVID occurrences, India has come to light as an alternative manufacturing destination while gradually cutting leakages to China through achieving self-sufficiency in manufacturing inputs. This opens ample opportunities for the Indian MSMEs, as through identifying the imported goods and facilitating the establishment of MSME units of such components, India will surely move on the path of achieving self-reliance. But we can realize the dream of self-reliance only when we work at strengthening infrastructure like supply chain and storage, improve the quality of our human capital. Very often, most of you, the champions of the industry, would be saying, we don't mind investing 1 crore of rupees in buying a new technology, but where is the trained manpower to function on those machines? And that is where we all need to collaborate. And when I say all, it includes the government, because today it is education, shiksha, kaushal, and uddamita, which are going to be the future of our nation. Education, skills, and entrepreneurship, which is going to be a blessing for our country if we handle all these three judiciously.
Wonderful.
And I believe that we can realize the dream of self-reliance only when we work at strengthening the linkages between industry and human capital which we carry.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I believe that the Atmanirbhar Bharat will definitely achieve its objectives to build capacities across sectors and promote local products. More vocal for local is another direction given by our Honorable PM, and I'm sure the industry will soon realize that we truly are the champions for the world when they look at us. And we would also be achieving the objective of scaling up the manufacturing sector, accelerating the infrastructure development, attracting investments more so when the biggest, as Pakshi Saab was also saying, 5 big companies are looking to set base in India, and I'm sure there are many more who are soon going to come. And if we follow the direction given by our Malhotra Saab when he makes his presentations, that we need to be more flexible when it comes to the bureaucracy of the country, and more leverages should be given to the industry so that they achieve what all they envision. Without that, it would not be difficult. And with these, we would be definitely promoting a consumption-led growth. There will be an enhancement in the demand, which today is sagging. As it is, the Indian economy and infrastructure, due to its inherent resilience, is equipped to bounce back despite the vicissitudes of the Indian economy. The coming days seem to hold unprecedented opportunities, which India will surely utilize. It's time for all stakeholders to get together and support the vulnerable MSME players. You know, it reminds me that the growth prospects of MSMEs are high, and they have the capacity of propelling India out of recession. It has always happened when people say that the Industry 4 is going to create a big problem. I always say, इससे पहले भी तो 3 industrial revolutions आए थे. The industry faced them, and we came out of them stronger than ever before. So Industry 4 will also be a challenge. The demonetization also came in, industry survived out of it. People felt that GST is a big challenge. We are emerging even stronger after that, because every challenge, there has a silver lining. We always look at the positives of it, and I'm sure we would be emerging stronger than ever before.
Good.
And definitely, if all stakeholders, government and all others, they work in tandem to nurture MSMEs just like a bird feeds a baby bird, the economy will definitely limp to normalcy.
Wonderful.
Eventually, just like nurtured baby birds, I always look at MSMEs as nurtured baby birds. They will spread their wings and fly while driving the Indian economy towards new highs in terms of their growth rates.
Right.
And all these will eventually support India's vision of becoming self-reliant or making of
Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Industry always says, and MSME always says, and I will just share 2 lines for you, all of you, sir. बहादुर कब किसी का आसरा एहसान लेते हैं, बहादुर कब किसी का आसरा एहसान लेते हैं, उसी को कर गुजरते हैं जिसको ठान लेते हैं.
क्या बात है. Wonderful.
With this,
क्या बात है. Very
thank you very
nice.
much for giving me an
Thank you
opportunity
very much, sir.
Thank you,
to
sir.
be with my fraternity, my family, and I thoroughly enjoyed this occasion which you provided me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, without taking further time, I would request our General Secretary, Shri Vijay Raghavan ji, to propose a formal vote of thanks. Shri Vijay Raghavan. राघवन जी, फिमटिया से लोग आए हुए हैं, फरीदाबाद चैम्बर से आए हुए हैं बत्रा जी, एफएमए से त्यागराजन जी आए हुए हैं, लघु उद्योग भारती से आए हुए हैं, इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियर से आए हुए हैं, वीरभान जी आए हुए हैं, स्पेशली पानीपत से चल के यहाँ हमारी मीटिंग में आए जी आज. थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी. राघवन जी प्लीज.
It is my pleasure and honor to propose a vote of thanks on this 9th DLF Business Summit, which has just concluded. I think this is the first virtual platform on which we have conducted an AGM, and I'm very happy, really happy that it has been very successful.
Wonderful.
With the help and captainship of JP Malhotra. The speakers, I would like to elaborate, but there's shortage of time. I would briefly say that it started off with our chief guest, Dr. S.S. Acharya, who said, we are trustees of nature and we have to be sustainable. And we have to treat ourselves as trustees and not owners. Of course, Dr. Bakshi's speech was, Mr. Bakshi was very, very motivating. His covidability, coining of that word covidability, and facing the COVID crisis with various connotations really has pumped a lot of energy in us. I do hope and pray that we get to hear him more often.
What is that?
Dr. Savita Verma, we have heard her before. She is really good in her profession, and we are very, very happy that she is looking after the vaccines, and her assurance that our workers will get vaccines free of charge is very motivating, very, very heartening, to say the least. Though we would not mind spending a little money for ourselves, but certainly we just can't afford to vaccinate all our workers with the kind of monies that's been, the kind of prices that these vaccines are going to be. And the last speaker, Mr. Ravindranath, was very, very effective. He is proposing that this is an opportunity for us to come out successful and be global suppliers. Is very heartening. I thank all of you, all the speakers, and I thank all my colleagues and my fellow members for being present in large numbers and making this virtual meeting a grand success. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Once again, sir, on behalf of the association, I must thank each one of you, Dr. Acharya, Ravindranath ji, D.K. Bakshi sir, Dr. Savita Verma, and friends from Rotary. I can count number of people who have attended this today's program. पहला अटेम्प्ट था, कोई कमी पेशी रह गई हो तो JP Malhotra is at fault. No, nothing.
And his team. JP Malhotra and his team.
And his team. Okay. Because Raghavan Farms. एक चीज की मैं कोहली साहब है ना, कोहली साहब ने मुझे एक बात कही थी. लास्ट पॉइंट आई एम गोइंग टू मेक कि जी चाय पानी मिस हो जाएगा आज. सविता जी आप वाली बात कर रहे हैं वो है कि चाय पानी मिस हो जाएगा, तो हमने एक वे आउट निकाला कि अगली एजीएम जो है मार्च के बाद ही हो जाएगी और विल नॉट वेट द मोमेंट वी गेट द अपॉर्चुनिटी, हम एजीएम कर देंगे so that we have good dinner summit as well as AGM over a cup of tea or dinner or whatever is possible. Once again, thank you very much. I am really obliged, and we hope that your continued patronage and advice of our seniors is available to the governing body. Our association with the other industry associations of Faridabad, Ivanji, members of media, FIA, LUB, IEI, Bakshi Sahab, all are there in this umbrella.
Malhotra ji,
हाँ जी,
मैं ये कह रहा था कि एटलीस्ट मैं एक बार इन चारों स्पीकर्स को जो आज इतने मोटिवेशनल थे और इन्होंने अपने अपने सब्जेक्ट पर अपने लोगों को इतना मोटिवेट किया है, मैं इन सबको सैल्यूट करता हूँ.
Wonderful, sir, wonderful. And that is the final thing. Rungta ji ke baad, this is the final word. Thank you very much. And I must thank Mohit Anand Bhatia. He is sat through full conference. Mohit ji, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Malhotra ji. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Good program. As usual. Thank you, Bakshi ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bakshi.
Very much for giving opportunity.
Thank you.
Indeed, pleasure to meet all of you, especially Dr. Acharya, Ravindranath ji, as well as this young, bright Dr. Sarita Verma.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, sir.
Know me.
I feel that you all are so experienced persons, and I'm really thankful.
यही तो खूबसूरती है. कविता जी, यही खूबसूरती है हमारी एसोसिएशन की.
यही खूबी है सर.
We respect the आपने जो ethics committee के आप secretary हैं, we also learned today कि भाई जिंदगी में एथिक्स ही काम आएंगे अल्टीमेटली। क्यों रूटा जी?
सही, एकदम सही साहब, बिल्कुल ठीक।
हाँ जी।
एक्चुअली आपका मल्होत्रा जी ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंड सक्सेस पे है। जैसे हमारे डॉक्टर आचार्य ने शुरू किया और मैं देख रहा था इनका सरिता वर्मा जी का, और फिर इन्होंने हमें एक आशा दी, एक होप दी। रविंद्र नाथ जी है, रिच नॉलेज इन्होंने शेयर कर। हमें एक ही चीज देखना है, हाउ टू स्ट्रेंथन द हैंड ऑफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी फॉर ग्लोबल टैलेंट वोकली एंड लोकली। जिस दिन हमने ये कर लिया, भारत इज नंबर 1, दैट इज फॉर श्योर। अगर हम ये सब everybody irrespective of caste, creed, gender, nationality and religion, everybody goes to Prime Minister Modi and strengthen his...
आचार्य साहब, एक मैं भूल गया acknowledge करना, we are joined by Neelam Gulati, Professor Neelam Gulati also. He is from DAV Institute of Management. We have been joined by JC Bose University Professor Vasudev ji, and we have been joined by Satyug Darshan Institute of Engineering. Sir, DK sir, हमारे यहाँ क्या है, एजुकेशन एंड इंडस्ट्री वी मूव हैंड इन हैंड। और हमारे सारे सीनियर मेंबर्स जो हैं, दे विजिट एंड गाइड द इंडस्ट्री, इंजीनियरिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस, कॉलेजेस। वी हैव रेसिप्रोकल विजिट्स टू यूनिट्स, ताकि जो है इंडस्ट्री और एकेडमिया का जो आपस में संबंध है वो बना रहे। और हम वो बच्चे जो हैं,
मल्होत्रा जी अब हेल्थ केयर भी साथ है।
अब हेल्थ केयर जो
मल्होत्रा साहब, मल्होत्रा साहब, डॉक्टर सविता वर्मा जी की बात का मैं 2 लाइनों से फिर कहूंगा कि जो कि एमएसएमईज के ऊपर भी लगती है। और उन्होंने कहा कि मैं बहुत छोटी हूं, तो मैं उनके लिए भी यही कहूंगा कि माना कि बरगद की तरह विशाल हम नहीं, माना कि बरगद की तरह विशाल हम नहीं, पर गमलों में लगी तुलसी भी किसी से कम नहीं।
क्या बात है,
भाई वाह, क्या बात है
रविंद्र नाथ जी, आपने बहुत तंग कर दिया। मैं एक एंड में बोलूंगा, अब हवाएं ही करेगी रोशनी का फैसला, अब हवाएं ही करेगी रोशनी का फैसला, जिस दिए में जान होगी वो दिया रह जाएगा, वो दिया रह जाएगा। पेंडेमिक, जिस दिए में जान होगी वो दिया रह जाएगा। 21 is going to be India's year. 21, we should be globally,
fantastic, बख्शी जी।
तो मल्होत्रा साहब, ये सारी बातें हम रखते हैं आपकी अगली एजीएम के लिए। उस समय ये सारे गुण सभी के निकल के आएंगे।
डेफिनेटली सर, डेफिनेटली।
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ बैंकॉक में कर लो। Okay.
Thank you, Mल्होत्रा जी।
Thank you, Mल्होत्रा
साहब। I am sorry.
Thank you, Bakshi sir.
Batra ji, Sunil Dilbagi, ex-BIS officer, he is also with us. Members of media, Manoj ji is there, Mukhi is there. मतलब सबका शुक्रिया जी। Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.